HMRC has been and is still building the most sophisticated surveillance network this country has ever seen. Now, how that translates, they're monitoring more and more all the time. And if you're thinking you're safe because you're only doing something small, or even if you don't really know what you're doing is actually taxable, you can't be shocked when you do get stung, because they're coming for everyone. And in 2026, it's going to get a whole lot worse. Now, there is no doubt that HMRC has more or less completely given up on the big corporations. They pay the minimum in tax because they've got armies of tax experts and complex offshore structures, and that makes it near impossible for them to be touched. So, HMRC is deciding to take the easier fight, bleed ordinary British taxpayers instead. That's you, that's me, that's your family, your mate, and even your neighbour. Just normal people. And here's why this is so dangerous. Because they've invested billions into technology that makes it easier to catch you than ever. We've got AI, we've got machine learning, we've got automated data matching, and we've got real-time surveillance systems. So I'm going to show you exactly how deep this goes. And by the end of this, you're either going to be bloody frustrated, maybe a bit terrified about the reality, or it might give you that kick up the bum needed to get your affairs in order. Right, let's start with how much HMRC knows about us. Well, let's begin with your bank accounts. Every penny that goes in and out of your bank account, they can see it. And not just UK bank accounts, every account you've got anywhere in the world. With over 100 countries now automatically sharing financial data with HMRC, if you've got savings in Spain or a business in Dubai, or you thought you might hide some money in Switzerland, well, they have the ability to see that. And they're using AI to scan for patterns. That's deposits that don't match your declared income. If there's regular payments coming from, let's say, the same source and money going abroad, that's all picked up and can be flagged. And for a couple of years now, HMRC has been receiving data directly from online platforms. So that's eBay, Etsy, Vinted, Facebook. If you've sold or selling anything online, they have access to that data, so they know how much you've sold. If you've rented out a property or even just a spare room and it's been listed on an obvious platform, they have access to that data as well. Now, every gig economy platform is reporting your earnings directly to HMRC as well. So that's Uber, Deliveroo, and Amazon. Freelancing platforms will hand over your income data, such as Fiverr and Upwork. Even creator platforms like OnlyFans or Patreon. And then you've got crypto exchanges. They're reporting your transactions. So if you've used Coinbase, for example, or Kraken. Essentially, there's very few platforms where you can earn money that HMRC doesn't either already have the ability to access now, or going into 2026, they will get access to. You cannot hide online. And it gets worse. HMRC can scrape your social media. That's your Instagram, your TikTok, Facebook, even LinkedIn and X. And they're using their AI systems to scan for key money words: side hustle, freelancing, my business, just sold, making money from, etc., etc. So if you post somewhere about your Etsy shop, or you mention doing deliveries on the weekend, or you talk about renting that spare room out, or those crypto gains that you've, been killing it in, it's the green light for the AI to pick up and to flag it. And it's not just the obvious stuff, They can use image recognition to identify products you're selling, locations you're filming from, even brands you might be promoting. If you've got income and you've posted about it, they will be able to find it. And then there's land registry. They know obviously every property you own, every property that you've ever owned, any property that you've got a stake in. They cross-reference that data with your council tax, with Airbnb listings. So if you own a property and you're renting it out without declaring it, or you're claiming it's your main residence when it's not, or you're doing any type of kind of short-term lets on the side, it won't take long before they're in the know. Now let's jump over and talk about your spending, because they're looking at your spending patterns too. If you're declaring less in income than the last spending you're doing, you'll get flagged. Obvious things like, you're booking business class flights, you're staying in nice hotels, you're driving an expensive car, but the declarations don't match up, well, they're going to start asking you questions. They use lifestyle analysis. So if your declared income doesn't match how you're living, they assume that you must have undeclared income somewhere. And then, of course, every company that has ever paid you reports directly to HMRC through PAYE, obviously, but also now there's freelance payments through CIS. You've got contractor payments, dividend payments, of course, and then royalty payments. If anyone's paid you for anything, there's typically now a digital paper trail, right? And HMRC can cross-reference that with what the companies have said they paid you and then what you've actually declared. So if a company says, well, we paid John 5 grand and John didn't declare that, well, HMRC are going to know. And then we got stocks, shares, ISAs, pensions, bonds. I don't even need to remind you that every financial institution reports your holdings and your transactions to HMRC. There's capital gains, dividends, interest. They will know what you've earned before you've even filed your tax return in most cases. And when it comes to crypto, it's the same. Exchanges report to HMRC. They know what you've bought, they know what you've sold and disposed of, and they know when you've done it. And they can always make educated guesses on what the profit actually is. And if they think you're using a decentralized exchange or a hardware wallet that keeps things hidden, they're tracking blockchain transactions too. Now, unfortunately, the list goes on. They know when you've left the country and they know when you've come back. It's just border data, flight manifest, hotel bookings. And why does that matter? Because what they're checking for is, are you claiming to be a non-resident when you're actually in the UK or visiting frequently? Are you doing business trips that look suspiciously like holidays? Or have you been working abroad and you haven't been declaring that foreign income? And then jumping back over to business now, if you're a sole trader, they're matching your tax return against your bank accounts. And from April 26, if you're earning over 50,000 as a sole trader or landlord, not profit, gross, you'll be forced to report quarterly through Making Tax Digital. That's not annual reporting anymore through a self-assessment. That's an additional 4 more reports that you have to file, giving them more real-time visibility into your finances. Now, with all that in mind, what makes this truly dystopian is they're obviously not just collecting all this data, it's how they're connecting it. And if you think they've got AI, they've got algorithms that are matching, your bank statements being easily available for them to reference against tax returns, platform earnings that they can have a look and see if there is anything that's been undeclared. They've got property ownership with a quick reference point. They can look at social media posts on business activity and just your overall spending and your lifestyle. You can piece that all together and it paints a pretty clear picture. What they're doing is creating a complete web of your financial life. And when things don't match up, you, as an individual, will get flagged. So when I say there's nowhere to hide, I do really mean it. They are building a machine that sees everything, that knows everything, and it will forget nothing. And just think about that, because I'm in no doubt so many people are still in the mindset of, well, HMRC couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. But the reality is, and let's take me, for example, a guy who right now can utilize AI to enable me to do the job of what would have taken 4 people just 5 years ago, because we're not up against people. HMRC aren't doing the work. The people aren't doing the work. This is advanced technology that is more accurate and more efficient than we are as humans. Okay, so who is HMRC targeting? Well, honestly, everyone. But let me give you some more specific examples so you can understand if you are in the crosshairs already. They've got online sellers, side hustlers, delivery drivers, crypto investors, freelancers. You've got content creators, property developers, cash businesses, people with income from foreign sources, anyone with decent investments, and then people who have inherited money. So if you've obtained money from basically any modern means, they want to know about it. So now let's focus on what they're rolling out in 2026, because from April 26, sole traders and landlords earning over 50,000 get forced into Making Tax Digital. Now, don't forget and don't be under any illusion. This isn't about helping you stay organized. This is about creating more opportunities to fine you. Because if you miss a quarterly deadline, if you submit it wrong, if the software glitches, that's tough luck. It's penalty time. They know most people won't owe more tax under MTD, but where they make their money is back in penalties and late fees. This is no doubt agreed tax. Then there's direct recovery of debts. Now, HMRC can take money directly from your bank account if they think you owe them. They paused this during COVID times, and it's been restarted now back in 2025. And in 2026, they're really going to be ramping it up. Basically, if you owe £1,000 or more and they think you're not paying, they can contact your bank and just take it straight out of your account. There's no court order, just a letter as a heads up. And yeah, they say, we'll leave you a 5K so you can pay your bills. But I'm not 100% sure I trust them to get that right every single time. Are you? So here's the piece that connects everything I've just told you, the thing that makes all this surveillance activity actually work. Digital ID cards. The Prime Minister announced mandatory digital ID cards for everyone in Britain. They've sold it as, being about illegal immigration, proving you have the right to work. But that is absolutely what this is not about at all. HMRC has already published documents saying that they want to use digital ID to pre-populate tax returns and better target compliance activity. The translation of that, they want to link every piece of data they've got on us, bank accounts, online platforms, property spending, all connected to one digital identity. One digital ID, one login, one profile that follows you from birth to death. Okay, so let's paint the picture here. When you're born, your parents get a digital app that automatically updates with your name, NHS number, and other relevant information. Now, the system checks their income through HMRC. If they earn less than the threshold, well, boom, a notification pops up. You're eligible for child benefit. Hey, that's pretty good. As you grow up, the app keeps up with relevant updates. Your parents' income changes. The system knows through HMRC their marital status changes, well, automatically adjusted. And it doesn't stop there. Digital identity for every learner, that transforms into the education system. Your school reports linked to your digital ID, exam results linked. Even you can have teachers' notes, whatever it could be, linked. Your progress from nursery to primary school into secondary school, all seamlessly shared through this digital identity. What they want is granular, real-time data, so they can monitor a whole host of things. And that could be anything from how schools are performing to health insights, preventative measures, having a look at people's mental health, tracking data, what they want to do en masse. And that is the bigger picture of, not just about your tax. It does all boil down to that as well. They want to make it about money. But the more they know about us on that linear level, the more power they have. There's no doubt about it. So you just need to imagine that every interaction, every transaction, loads of life events, all following through this one system, all connected, all monitored. And guess what? HMRC's own documents say that they believe it will help collect an extra £600 million a year. Not going after tax avoiders, not by chasing big corporations, dodging billions, by making it impossible for ordinary people to make a mistake without getting caught. Now, the Digital ID report literally states that it can enable a smarter state that knows when and how to help without citizens having to ask. A state that knows without you having to ask. Let that sink in. Now, I can imagine you're absolutely not surprised the public pretty much hates this. Millions of people have signed a petition against it, but they're going to do it anyway. Long and short of it is, every discrepancy noted, any kind of accidental error is going to be punished. Lots of aspects of your life are going to be connected under this surveillance file. And the infrastructure goes live in 2026. This isn't some kind of conspiracy theory. This is official government policy. And the documents are public, the plans are detailed, and the intention is that this is all happening. So here's where we are. HMRC is building a surveillance machine, and they're creating new ways to find and extract money from everyday people. But if you are actually worried about this, and if what I've just said does apply to you, then don't be scared. You might be a bit angry, but start being smart. Because the only way to beat the system is to get ahead of it, to get your house in order before anyone comes knocking. Not to make yourself an easy target. So let me just outline what you need to do. So whether you're an individual with a side hustle or you're running your own business, here's how you can protect yourself. The first thing is, if you just start assuming that they know everything, operate on the assumption that HMRC has access to every financial record that you've got. Because even if they don't do now, at some stage in the near future, They most certainly will, especially with this digital ID. Step number 2, audit yourself. Go back 4 years as a minimum. If you check every income source that you've had, because if you've earned it and you haven't declared it, it's better you find it before they do. Step 3 is get those records sorted, because messy records can make you look guilty even if you're not. So try and get everything organized. There are apps out there these days that you can scan physical records to make life easier. Income records, expenses receipts, bank statements, invoices, any contracts. If you've got ultimately a shoebox of chaos, it's time to modernize things. Step number 4 is understand what you can and can't claim. A lot of people will overpay because they don't actually know what they can claim as, let's say, deductible expenses. And they might even get in trouble because they're trying to claim too much. What you need to do is work out legitimately what you're entitled to. And if you're not sure, speak to me or get advice somewhere else from a professional. Now, step number 5, and this is if it's applicable, prepare for MTD. If you're a sole trader or a landlord, set up your systems, understand what you're going to be required to do. We do often release videos regularly on this to help guide you, but it's better to be prepared because it's coming sooner rather than later, so don't bury your head. Step number 6, if you owe money, deal with it. If you owe HMRC money, don't ignore it because they might just take it from your bank account anyway. Set up a payment plan, negotiate, respond to the letters when you're prepared. Watch my other video on that will help kind of give you the guidelines. Step number 7 is get professional help. If you're not confident handling things yourself, and lots of people aren't, get someone who knows how to deal with HMRC. They know the system and how it's designed to operate. Someone who can audit your position, prepare disclosures, negotiate even on your behalf, and protect you when HMRC comes knocking. And whether that's with us or with someone else, just don't try and fight it alone if you know you're not equipped to do so. So I put together some resources. There's the free guide that covers how to handle a HMRC letter as and when it arrives. You can kind of reference the recent video I've done on that. You've also got the MTD guides that we've pieced together. I've included those in the description as well. Use any of these resources, share them for them to some that can make use of them, because HMRC has built a system and is continuing to build this system designed to extract as much money as possible from ordinary people, just like you, just like me. And the only defense is being prepared. Now, it's important for me to say that I'm absolutely not anti-tax. Of course, I work for a chartered accountancy firm. We all have a responsibility to pay what we owe. But what's happening right now isn't about fairness. It's about a government that's given up on hard cases and turned its full weight on ordinary people instead. Because it is easy money. They've built surveillance systems. They're using AI to hunt us. They're creating new ways to fine, and they want to connect everything through this digital ID card and track our entire lives. They're doing it because they can, because the technology is now becoming available. So let's not make it easy for them. Get our affairs in order. Know your rights and always be prepared, because HMRC in 2026 is pretty scary. So don't let them catch you off guard. Now, put your comments below, whatever it might be, about whether it's about the digital ID, whether you've already been caught out by HMRC, whether you're kind of panicking, whether you're angry. And you can hit the subscribe for more videos because we'll be releasing them regularly to try and help you protect yourself. All right, see you soon.